Hi, I'll show you how easy it is to migrate your app from Heroku to Savala. Savala matches Heroku's core features and goes beyond them, so you can move your entire workflow over and unlock more flexibility along the way. We have a Node.js test application that runs both a web and a worker process. It connects to a PostgreSQL database and executes database migrations on every deployment. Now let's take a look at how this is set up on Heroku. We're using a pipeline with development and production apps, preview apps enabled. The app is connected to Heroku Postgres and runs two processes. Now let's replicate the same setup on Savala. We'll start by creating development, production, and preview databases. These databases will later be connected to the applications over Savala's internal network. While the databases are provisioning, we can already move forward and create the applications. Now we'll create the development application. We connect our Git repository and create the app. Once the app is ready, we can configure the build strategy. We'll choose buildpacks to match Heroku's default build behavior, but Dockerfile and Nixpacks are also available. Now let's configure the processes. We start by setting the start command for the web process, then add a worker process. To handle database migrations during deployment, we also create a job process that runs the Prisma migrate command. The final step before deploying the app is setting up the internal connection between the application and the database. During this step, the required database URL environment variable can be added automatically. Everything is now ready, so we can start the deployment. In this case, we're triggering it manually, but deployments can also be triggered by a Git commit, a deploy hook, or an API call. First, a Docker image is built from the source code. Then the database migrations are executed, and finally the web and worker processes are deployed. The deployment is complete. We can now check the application and everything is working as expected. Now let's move on to the pipeline. From the dashboard, we create a new pipeline and choose trunk mode, which matches Heroku's default behavior. We add our existing application to the development stage and create a new application for the production stage. We need to apply the same configuration to the production app, set up the processes, and allow the connection to the production database. There's no need to configure the build settings here, since changes are promoted from the dev app and the application isn't rebuilt. The production app is now ready, so we can initiate a promotion from the dev app. As part of the promotion, we use the same Docker image built in dev and apply production configuration at runtime, in line with 12-factor app best practices. Another great feature is preview apps. Just like on Heroku, you can enable them directly in the pipeline. On Savala, the entire preview app setup is handled through the UI, with no additional configuration files required. Savala can automatically clean up stale preview apps, and you can enable hibernation to save on costs. When a preview app has no traffic, it sleeps and doesn't incur any usage. Beyond replicating Heroku's core features, Savala lets you provision additional databases like Redis, MySQL, and MariaDB. You can also create S3-compatible object storage or deploy static sites directly to the edge. Every application is protected by Cloudflare and benefits from a built-in CDN. All of this means you get the familiar Heroku experience, plus more flexibility, better control, and room to grow with Savala.